And very good. Okay to go there, Caroline? Yep. Okay. Great stuff. All right. Good morning, everyone. Kieran Swail, Tourism Innovation Specialist at Southern Ranges College. And a good morning to you. Today is the last of our webinars. Just checking my dates there. Friday, the 25th of February. So you're very welcome along this morning. I think this is about number 8, Sarah and Caroline, about number 8 of our winter webinar series. We will be doing another one probably come the spring, summer, so we haven't that finalized yet, but we'll come back to you on. Anyway, it's me. Well, I'm not really on my own, but I am on my own. So first, let me clarify who's with me today. Caroline is again back and now in full producer mode. So Caroline, you're very welcome. And as ever, Sarah's in the background from the business support team. So we have a that's our business support team. I know my colleague James is in the audience there. James, thank you for coming along. And I can see we have a few other attendees. So listen, you're all very welcome this morning. As ever, these series of webinars are supported by Connected NI. And thank you to them for the continued support, which allows us to do research and development. All right, today's theme then. This is something that, never mind before the pandemic, I started looking at screen recording tools. And I suppose over the last 18 months, I've been using quite a number of these. The reason I wanted to do a webinar on them is I believe they're low cost entry. It doesn't cost you a lot for a business. I think these are all very, very useful. So what I'm going to do with you, a lot of this content will be preloaded because I've had to do that so that you can understand the live demonstration. So I'm taking each piece of software and then I'm doing a demo through it. So what will happen is that will play, then I'll come in probably before it and then shortly afterward, and Sarah will be moving the screens along. In terms of today, please put your questions in the Q&A box and we'll endeavour to answer them. If we can't at the time, we will come back to you through our email response. Today, I'm going to be looking at not the ones that are on the screen because those are the ones that you're very familiar with, but at 7 or 8 other pieces of software. Okay. You can take notes if you want to. You might find it useful to do that, but this presentation will be available on, well, this will be recorded and go up to our YouTube channels, and also this presentation will be made available to anyone who signs in. Okay, so Sarah, thank you very much. Sarah, if you would hit our first slide there, please. So these are the key tools that I'm going to talk about today. There are a lot of screen recording tools out there. The reason that I've chose, I have 7 listed, but you'll see 8 on the screen. I'll explain that in a wee second. So of these 7, I've used them all. Probably the most one I use a lot is 5 Camtasia, more laterally 6 Canva, and I use Loom quite a lot as well. But I'm going to go through them. Cathal McDonald and Wayne Denner both have pre-recorded some stuff for me, and they're going to help to explain what's ahead. So the whole idea of this is all of these tools you can use as a business. When you get to number 7, you probably need a wee bit of knowledge, and that will be more on the live broadcasting end of things. But all of the rest you can all use and be very, very they're very, very easy to pick up, to be honest with you. So the first one up is Crankwheel. We're going to go out in a wee second, Sarah, not just yet. First one up is Crankwheel, and I'm going to introduce that. So Crankwheel, probably it was in the realm or in the home of anyone who was doing computers or IT background or software design, but then it came into sales as a really, really simple sales tool. And it works very simply. You don't need to download any software at all. So in this, Cal's talking to me on that little phone. He's recorded it all. And it's very, very useful. If you're in a sales situation and you want somebody to show something and then also have a call to action, you can use Crankwheel. So Sarah, first up is Crankwheel. If I could just get you to introduce Cathal.
Hello folks, I'm Cathal McDonald, and this is a quick introduction to a browser extension for Chrome called Crankwheel. I've been using this for a while, and what it does, it allows you to, here's a scenario where I'm reviewing some text for a client, and rather than send the email off my updated text and then wait for a day or two for that to be replied to and then look for updates between updated text, which can be a nightmare, a quick and easy way to do it It's by using the browser extension Crankbait. Basically, you just click on the extension tab. You can share a full screen. I have 2 screens here, so I'm going to share this one. Then I like to set auto accept, and then you just copy the link to the email. Here I have email already sent out. I've just noted there for Kieran to please take the link to view my screen. I will call you once you start viewing my screen. So I'm sending that now. So that's on its way to Kieran. In the meantime, I have the Crankbait window open up here, waiting for him to join. So whenever he does join, I'll call him using the phone. This is done from experience because Crankbait is very light on the browser. There's nothing for the viewer to install. I can see that Kieran has joined. So in low bandwidth areas, this could be a lifesaver. So that's me just talking on the phone. Hello, Kieran. How are you? You can see my screen, yeah?
I can see your screen, Cahill. Yeah. How you doing?
Not too bad. So I can just pull it out of it. This is just the text for the website and the newsletter. So I've just gone over it.
Yeah.
And then one of the beauties of Crankbait, I can grant control.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to grant control. Yes. So grant control is selected area. So then the idea is then, Kieran, if you have the mouse there, you can start to edit.
After years of deliberation, yeah. So I'm clicking in here.
Yeah.
There's the deliberation and much trepidation.
Yeah.
Okay, and much blah blah blah.
Yeah. So yeah. So sorry, I just took back control there. So the idea is that you can grant control, and then I'm going to end the remote control. Okay. And then I'm in the remote control. So the idea of that is it's beautiful. It's very light. I can show you, here's a different bit of software, but you can go over any problems that you have with the client live, and it just makes everything a lot easier than it otherwise would be. So that's just basically the beauty of it.
The client can come in jointly just with you on it.
Yeah, and it means you can review. If we're looking for videos, just go over everything rather than trying to take up time with a real meeting. Sending emails back and forth, it can become lost. If we want to review videos or.
And just so we're clear, Crankbait, that was relatively seamless.
Yeah.
You sent me a link, you rang me, and I didn't need to download anything. I didn't need to have that software, like you would have on bigger programs like Teams or Zoom or Meet or something like that.
Yeah, there's nothing to download, especially low bandwidth, because sometimes Teams, Zoom can be very heavy because you're talking and you're given access and you're trying to show video on screen in real time.
No, that's very good, Cal.
So that's just the bare bones of it. Again, there's lots more details about pricing and stuff. You want to go enterprise versions, or you can have multiple people in the same meeting. But I just like it because for somebody who doesn't know that much of it, it's just handy to jump in and out to be able to demo different bits and pieces, and then make the changes on the hoof, as it were. And then I could go and do some edit work, touch base with another link in a half an hour. That's those changes, yes, no. So it's very handy for someone who's doing a bit of design work, and where.
Yeah, I think it works very well for my live screen share. I know there's so many programs that do that because this is so light and that was so quick. Yeah. That's great. And obviously you can record this as well. You can go back and add it, make changes, and you can record it.
Yeah, record any of the screen recording software. Yeah, it'll hold up just like what we're doing right now.
Okay, that's super stuff.
Okay then.
That's good. Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thanks a lot.
So that was Crankbait. Honestly, I used the word seamless there, but that was fantastic. And I'm thinking in the past where I've been working with, say, some of the marketing team, and we've been, or some of my colleagues there, you know, the likes of Sarah or Caroline or some of the rest, and you know, we're actually working on a design of something, you know, using Canva that we're going to talk about, or very, very, very useful. And the things to take home, I'd be very interested in those that are attending to try these pieces of software and let us know how it worked for you, because this is really, really easy. Again, quite intuitive, Crankbait. I liked it now. I really do, and I've been using it a lot more. Okay, then. So our next one, don't just hit the button yet, Sarah, but then I'm going to introduce the next one then. Number 2 then is Loom. So Loom's been around for probably about 4 years or so. And I started using Loom, and then it got many updates. My background is in tourism, so the examples that you're going to see today, not just in Loom and others, are all like either map-based or scenario-based with things to do. And the example that I've shown, I recorded a little while ago, it's about mountain biking in Northern Ireland. But really what it does is a map, and it shows you, you know, things that you could do, and you can annotate on Loom. It's mostly free. There is a paid version for it, but again, very, very easy. It's on the Google Chrome extension. So Loom is also being used, and we had the Newry Chamber of Commerce yesterday had a digital marketing conference, and on it, one of the speakers was talking about how he uses Loom for video email marketing. So there's another use of it. But again, you know, have a look at these things, try them out yourself. So Sarah, when you're ready, if you would play number 2, please. Hello everyone, and welcome to this very short explanatory video of how to use Loom. Now, Loom is a extension on the Google Chrome, and I've been using it for about a year. It's been around for about 2 or 3 years. But essentially what Loom will do is it'll record your camera, your microphone, and your screen recorder all in one. So in this little short demonstration, what I'm going to show you is what I've used it for in terms of trying to explain to someone if they wanted to go to mountain biking in Northern Ireland, how would they do it? So I'm going to move first of all from like a full screen view to a smaller view. And then now you'll see is over here I have a map of Northern Ireland. So mountain biking is a passion of mine, but very, very briefly, you can see I stay here. I can move around in this if I wanted to. You might want me to move off the screen. I can even go over to Scotland over here. So, and I can talk to you about why I think mountain biking is great. The main national trail centres and the regional trail centres. I can show you where I live, which is just around here in Carryduff and near Belfast here, just about here on the map. And that particular mountain bike centre, Barnestonmain, is close to me. So you can see how this could be very, very useful. I can make this actually smaller or bigger, and I can move this all around the screen. So very, very useful to do that. The Loom also has some additional functions, which has a draw facility. So if we just go over here, and we'll see that I might want to say, I can see that Gosford is not marked. It's a very recent addition to the mountain biking scene. So let's draw on Gosford, and we'll mark it there. There you go. And that could be included. Now you'll see that only stayed there for 5 seconds, but it has a very, very useful draw function. Also within this, there is, when this video is finished, there'll be a call to action button, and in it you will see it'll say want to stay in Northern Ireland, and it'll click to spare and view glamping. So I think Loom is very, very useful. It is free initially to use. We have an educational license, but if you're really just for trial, you can go and use and try it out. And for a full business edition, I think it's maybe $10 a month, but it's not that expensive. So I hope this has helped explain some of the functions of Loom. Thank you. Okay, so Loom, just once again to reiterate, free to download. There are some other paid features with it, but by all means, go try it out. And I don't think that you'll be disappointed if you do that. Very, very, very easy to pick up. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is called Zappy. And Zapier, Z-A-P-I-E-R, is the parent company. I need to explain to you that Zappy is only available on Mac. So it's not a cross-platform as yet. They may well change. I'm so glad that I came across this because it is very, I'm using the word user-friendly a lot, but if I can get it, and I really don't have an IT background, anybody can get it. So if you're, it's also mobile-based as well, but I'm using this kind of things that I'm doing are things to do, maps to do, tours and destinations. So the Zappy, and you're going to see now, worked very, very well in this example. I've used Podrick and Mullaban, taking his glamping base in Bluebell Lane as if there were, where are there things to do in around the area. So Sarah, if you would play number 3, please, Zappy. Hello everyone. Now I'm going into the Zappy app, which is an app for Mac operating systems. So it's not available on Android. It may well be in the future, but another very, very useful piece of software. And I like it because it's quick. And in this situation, in this example, I'm going to show how you could use it if you wanted to say there are 4 things to do or 5 things to do. An example, I'm going to use one of my clients, Podrick from Bluebell Lane Glamping. So I'm going to click on the app, which is just outside the recording area, the little button that I have, and you can just see that coming into play. Now I'm going to click the record button, and that gives me an area to draw on the screen, like so, which I'm going to really just highlight this area here. Now, here we have then, we've now gone to the video mode, and in it, I'm going to pinpoint 4 or 5 things to do. So first of all, I'm going to highlight key areas that I think are important. So let's go to Bluebell Lane. There's 1. Let's also go to Slieve Gullion Forest Park. There's 2. Cleavey Old Churches. There's 3. Camlock Lake. Well, the bottom of Camlock Lake, let's say here is before. Ballykeel Dolmen could be 5. Of course, Cleavey Estate could be 6. So let's go around now and try and number those. Well, 1, 2, you're going to mix them around a wee bit, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we have 6 things to do. And I don't want 7 just yet for now. Now also just roughly we're on Google Maps here, but we might want to know, let's say from Slieve Gullion Forest Park, how far would it be to Newry? So still on the video function, but I'm going to grab an arrow here. There we go. Took a while. And we're going to say to go to Newry is going to be out this road. And let's add a wee bit of text to that then. What is it roughly from Slieve Gullion to Newry? But 10k. There we go. Let's move that wee box over. There we go. And really, that's a very, very simple video demonstration of 5 things that you could do, and you could obviously title that as well. Let's put another wee, so you can get a wee title in here. Okay, so we get into, sorry, I aborted that slightly early, but Zappy, very good, and I've only come across it quite lately. The next one up now, we're starting to move gears a wee bit. So the next one has a lot more functionality. Certainly anybody in the broader education academia might have heard of this one called Screencastomatic. I'm probably late to this, but very, very useful, and I've had great fun with it in the last few weeks playing around with Screencast-O-Matic. The ones that I'm showing you to date, they're low cost. There's a bit of as you move on here, there'll be some costs attached to this, and I'll chat about them at the end. So Screencast-O-Matic has a lot more functions, and the first one we play is from the company itself, is about a 2-minute video, and then I show an example of how I've used Screencast-O-Matic. So Sarah, if you would play the next slide, please.
Welcome to Screencast-O-Matic, a fast, free, and easy-to-use screen and webcam recorder used by millions worldwide. Let's get started. Click here to start recording and then launch the recorder. If it's your first time, you will be prompted to download and install the software. Once installed, it's just one click to launch. You can record the screen, webcam, or both. You can record as many videos as you want, up to 15 minutes long. Upgrade to our video editor and get unlimited recording times. Drag or resize the frame to record any part of your screen. Or choose pre-selects such as standard HD sizes and full screen. With the webcam selected, you can drag and resize the webcam frame within the recording area. You can choose your microphone to narrate your video. Now hit record, and all the action inside the frame will be captured. Pause, resume, preview, or restart any of your recordings. Click Done and easily trim the start and end of your video. Then add royalty-free music to excite your audience. It's that simple. You can save your video file to your desktop, post it on Screencastomatic.com, or publish directly to YouTube. When you upgrade, you get more uploading options. After your video is uploaded, get a link to copy or use quick share buttons to easily share to Facebook and Twitter. For those who want more out of Screencast-O-Matic, Video Editor gives access to tools that allow you to zoom, add text and images, animate overlays, blur sections, and much more. Join in on the fun. Create, share, and experience video with Screencast-O-Matic.
Okay, so in the next one, and this is me, I suppose that's the theory of it, then I'm going into the practice of how I've used it. And before we play that, just to summarize what I find really useful, I talked about the features at the end. They're probably more of the paid features, but you still have on the video, I was able to edit on the video some of the narration. I was able to cut that out, which is very, very useful. So Sarah, if you'd now play the next one, please. Hello everyone, I'm now in Screencast-O-Matic and I'm in the screen record function. So this is me down here. This is a route of a cycle that I did last week, over 200k cycle, 2 locks, eastern side of Lough Neagh and then round Strangford Lough. So I'm just going to keep talking here and demonstrate why I think Screencast-O-Matic is useful. Because you could be explaining here to visitors from a tourism perspective of cycle routes that you have in your area. So I'm going to go now into the full screen view on the Strava file. And there we are now, and hopefully you can still see me down here. So if we go, and my route started here at the Comber Greenway. That's where I started. And then I moved from there. I'm just going to go check on that we have the little dots here. Now you see me. So if I moved from there, I went on into Belfast, and from Belfast then I went out to Newtonabbey, and I'm actually going to jump on now here up to Antrim. Belfast, Belfast, so I know over to close to Antrim. I didn't go to Antrim, but I cycled out to the Belfast International Airport, round the side of it, and then down the whole eastern side of Lough Neagh. And the day that I did it last Thursday, the views were spectacular. And there's a lovely wee photograph that I took to exemplify. There's a Portmore Lough actually. And then if I just zoom out again, I went down and all round the eastern side past Alhagallen and on out here. I had my lunch at Oxford Island, just over here. And then went from Oxford Island and I went all the way through back into Lurgan, over to Dromore, to Ballynahinch, close to Downpatrick. But not in Downpatrick itself, kind of bypassed it, and then up through St Patrick's Country here to Strangford, and that's where I stopped. I took the ferry from Strangford over to Portaferry, and then went down. I suppose I'm not familiar with the outer end of Strangford Lough. My father's originally from this part of the Cale Peninsula, so this for me was fantastic, and I was able to cycle up to Portavogie, then all up the coast to Ballywalter, and then I stopped here at Malile, and then back into Scrabble Tower, Newton Ards, and took a few photographs up here, and then back to the Comber Greenway. So that gives you an idea if you were trying to explain a route, how you could do that, and that's quite a useful function. So yeah, so that Screencastomatic, there's a lot more functions just than that, but I certainly would find it, I think it would be very useful. So again, coming back to what I do is in the tourism end of it, but I'm conscious that on this webinar, I know my colleague James is there, so from an engineering perspective, Screencastomatic could be all of these could be very, very useful as well, to be able to demonstrate how you do things, and from a recording perspective. Okay, Sarah, if you hit the next slide. So hello everyone, I'm now using Screencastomatic to record this explainer video on Canva. Now we have a professional account at the college, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But on Canva, very, very useful. Anybody in marketing, fantastic for, you know, presentations, social media, video, your printed products, all types of marketing. So it's a very, very robust and versatile useful piece of software. Now I'm going to have a quick look here at the video function, and let's say that I had my own YouTube channel and I wanted to be a quick video of how to promote it. So here's lots of different options, but I'm going to go straight to the YouTube one, and there's lots of templates here, pre-recorded templates that I can use if I wanted to promote, and I'm going to create a short sting, which is maybe up to a 10-second piece, which will help encourage people on social to promote, to come and sign up to my channel. So here I'm going to look at this one, travel vlog even, and I'm going to go on and I'm going to make a quick adjustment to this, and let's pretend that I have my own, well, I do have my own podcast channel, but let's pretend we'll call this one My Travels. And the channel name, we're going to call the channel name, let's call it Tomorrow's Visitors, and we're going to try and encourage people to sign up to that channel. So let's just type in Tomorrow's Visitors. And so at the moment we've got our channel, we've got the name of our promotion is My Travel. So we want to try and bring a bit of life to this. So let's look at some animations. I looked at this before. I'm going to go for, let me see, the first. Yeah, that looks nice. So I'm going to drop that onto the timeline, if you see how I did that. And now I'm also going to try and encourage people to sign up. So let's see if we can find some an arrow that will encourage people to sign up in some way that it could possibly be if the arrow was animated. So here's a nice little one here. I'm going to, there's a wee green one at the bottom. I'm going to pull this white one. Actually, I wasn't going to use that, but let's go. First of all, let's get rid of that and subscribe to the button. So we've got that animation there. Let's make that smaller. Hard to do this in real time. And let's bring that up a wee bit. And if we can subscribe here. Yeah, subscribe here. Let's turn that around a wee bit. Something like that. It might well be. We can make that smaller. But there we go. The last thing on this is you might want to add some music. So let's see if we can do that. We'll go down here at the bottom and I'm looking for music. So let's type in, oh, that took a while. So here's a nice one. I recently used new long distance travel. If I can get to that one. There's it there. Long distance travel. I'm just going to pop that onto there. And now we're almost ready. I'm just going to play that now. That's just uploading. There, sorry that took a wee bit, a minute or two, but that's the reality of trying to do this. So now let's just play this. So that's a 10-second jingle, really, that you could work, which would work very, very well. Okay, thank you. So there was, I suppose, two reasons. One, just again, that was recorded in Screencastomatic, but two, Canva has this, you can record things on Canva as well. Canva is so robust, and we had a workshop where in the past we touched on Canva, and I'm smiling at Caroline and Sarah, but you know, I would love to do Aisling, who is our own business support Canva expert, but would love to do a workshop on this. It's really fantastic. So if you're going to screen record, and you want to have a demonstration, certainly Canva has super functionality. It really has. So that's just a wee video at the end that I used there. I'm getting to grips with it. I'm certainly not an expert in it, and I'll be leaning to Caroline or Sarah or others to help me with that. But if you haven't tried it, again, back to the digital marketing conference yesterday, Canva was referred to by a number of the speakers, and certainly it has. There's lots of learning materials with Canva. I think that's what I like. I was able to pick it up pretty quick. Okay, so we're now moving on then. Before you do this, Sarah, to Camtasia. So I'd like to just talk a little bit about it before going to Camtasia. Camtasia's been around for a long time on instructional design. I've been using it for about 2 years. I have my own license on it, and you have a one-off license to pay, and then you have an annual fee. Now, the one-off license, now it is, I looked at this last week, it was £267. You might get discounted. I didn't pay that when I got it because there are also discounted offers. But then you pay in and around maybe $50 or £50 annual, £35 the maintenance fee for it. But it's fantastic. I really like. I like Screencastomatic and I like Camtasia, and they're both up another level. And you'll have to find what works for you. So you're going to have an explainer video of how to use Camtasia coming up now. And Sarah, if you would hit that, please. So hello everyone. I'm now using Canva one, sorry, Screencastomatic to record. It will be the next one, Sarah. This explainer video on Canva. That's okay. Yeah, lovely.
Welcome to the Camtasia tutorials. Super. In this video, I'll walk you through the basics of recording your screen, then editing and sharing your video. Let's get started. Right now, you're in the Camtasia editor. The editor is made up of the timeline, where you can arrange and edit your clips, the Tools panel, where your media is stored, along with shapes, animations, effects, and more, the Canvas, where you position, resize, and preview your media, and the Properties panel, where you fine-tune your media and effects. To start a recording, click the Record button at the top of the Tools panel. This hides the editor and opens the Camtasia Recorder. The Camtasia Recorder can record your entire screen, webcam, microphone, and system audio. Click to toggle on and off, and select the arrow next to each to customize their settings. If you're on a Mac, the recorder looks a little different. Use the toggle buttons to enable or disable screen recording, webcam, microphone, and the system audio. System audio is the sound that comes from your computer. Click the arrows next to each to customize their settings. When you're ready, click Record, and Camtasia will count down until the recording begins. Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial on how to use Google Drive to upload a file and copy the link and send it to anyone that needs the file. Thanks for watching. When you're finished recording, click the Camtasia Recorder icon, then the Stop button. And if you're not happy with your recording, choose Delete to try again. If you're on a Mac, click the Camtasia icon in the Apple menu bar, then click Stop Recording. The capture automatically appears in the media bin, on the canvas, and on the timeline, where the top track is audio captured from your microphone, and the bottom track is screen video and system audio. To preview the recording, click the play button or press the space bar. To jump to a point in the video, click on the timeline, or click and drag the playhead to scrub through the video. If there's a mistake in the recording, drag a handle on the playhead to select it, and click Cut to remove it. A stitched line appears to show where the media was removed. If you cut too much or too little, click Undo to try again. If you make a selection and want to bring the playhead back together, double-click the playhead. To remove extra footage from a recording, click and drag the end of a clip in. This is called trimming, and if you trim too much, simply drag the clip back to restore your video. To fine-tune your editing, use the zoom slider to zoom in on the timeline. If you zoom too much or want to see your full project, click the magnifying glass to fit your entire project to the timeline. To add additional media, titles, or effects, drag them from the Tools panel to the timeline. And to move media on the timeline, click and drag. If you choose an effect, such as an animation or transition, clips on the timeline highlight, showing you where they can be applied. When working on your project, use the canvas to position and resize your media, and the Properties panel to fine-tune your media and effects. When you're satisfied with your video, export it as a file on your computer, share it to popular web destinations, or upload it to Video Review and invite your colleagues to review the video. And when you're done working, don't forget to save your project. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.
So what I like about Camtasia is, again, I was able to follow it. It has got fantastic learning resources with it. I mean, go out and Google that and have a look at it. But there's key things there that the additional media and the ability to have annotations and different behaviors is really what will make, I suppose, a straightforward video, animate that and really make it look very, very professional, and then you can brand it yourself. So again, you don't need to be a web designer, you don't need to be a videographer to do this. Small businesses, you can do this and get a very, very professional product. So the next one I made, what I call a sting for my podcast Tomorrow's Visitors. It's 10 seconds, but I made it using the Camtasia. Sarah, if you just play that. Thank you. So that could go on, believe it or not, TikTok or somewhere like that, or it could go on any your Instagram, or it could go anywhere, you know, in all your social channels to promote your up and coming podcast. And I've been using Camtasia, as I said, for nearly 2 years now, and with my clients that I'm working with, we would edit some of their 360 work and some of their videos. And I've been working lately with Donna Fox. Donna's from Armagh. She's an international tour guide, and she's developed a new podcasting strategy. And we shot a little video there last week. And Sarah, if you move on now to the next slide, please. This is just a holding slide, really. So it's not animated in any way. Sarah, I think, am I going to attempt to take control here? So I'm going to request control. So that your control share request, yeah. So what you're going to do now, you said, Sarah, you hopefully just, yeah, I can see myself. Sarah, just give me the nod. You can see me okay there, yeah. So, all right. So let me explain what's happening here. So if you remember the Camtasia, you had the dashboard. So these are all the different. There's actually 6 tracks just there. This video was recorded on, which I haven't talked about today, on something called Squadcast. Now, if you remember, Cahill was talking about Crankbait. Squadcast is used by professional podcasters. If you're talking to somebody in the remote location and there may be problems with their connectivity, you have Dolby Stereo with Squadcast. Very, very professional, both for video and for audio. And I've started using it over the last few months. So this was recorded in Squadcast, but unfortunately, Donna's resolution just wasn't as good as my own. So the video is okay. We could probably, if it was redoing it again, it would do it slightly different. So you're seeing a video within a video here. So we have 2 separate video files and 2 separate audio files. So when we look at the tracks here, that's me on track 3 and that's Donna on track 1. So you have the video and you have the audio. And the beauty here with Camtasia, you can actually split those files. You can do split audio and video. Now, up here, you've got Donna's her own brand, her own logo. So that just stays. That can stay for just there if you wanted to, or you could have it for the whole video. You have the SRC video, and that's kind of indiscreet. Really, it's just down in the right hand side, and that stays. So I'm able to drop those videos. So where it says like media here, outlet, these are all the things you're going to drop in the video, which you can preload. The music then that you can add to that is, this is really more in the podcasting front, but I got this one from, oh, I forget where I bought this one from, but this here it was about $9 I paid for this here. And this is just it's a corporate uplifting video that we used here. But down the bottom here, there's lots of annotations and libraries and effects that you can do. You can do for intros, for outros, you can do for thirds, for lowering the screen, like I did with the jingle. The cursor effects here, you have lots of things with the arrows. You can animate. The voice narration, plenty of visual effects, gesture effects. So there's lots of functionality that I would need to do probably a full webinar itself on Camtasia alone. But this is something when I'm working with clients that I would use. Both Camtasia and Screencastomatic would be two that I would use quite a lot. Okay, Sarah, the next one coming up is we're going to, just before you hit the next one. So to date, if I can just pause for a second, I've two more pieces to show you. One's on Restream. I've really only one more, Restream, and then I'm going to do a bit of a summary. So Restream now. So let's say you've been doing your screen recording and you're now moving on to, you want to think about broadcasting. So Restream, I suppose, more is in the entry level of broadcasting. The other ones that you may or may not have heard of before are called OBS, or certainly Melon App, and Wayne Denner. Wayne's worked with us in the past and would be a good friend. Wayne's going to come in and after Easter hopefully do a workshop on this. So Restream is up another level, and certainly from a professionalism might be something where you want your studio to look really professional, and to broadcast that live or just record it, you might use Restream. So Sarah, if you would play Restream, please.
Hello, you're very welcome along to this short tutorial, actually quick overview on how the Restream platform works. Of course, Restream is an excellent way to live stream your presentations, your podcasts, your workshops to your audience on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. And there are of course other platforms that you can live stream to as well. But one of the other cool features of Restream is that you can use the record only option. So if you do want to record a workshop, a presentation, a tutorial, you can actually use the software to record it just to your computer, and you get all of the extra benefits of using Restream, so that you can import your graphics, you can bring in your presentation, your PowerPoint presentation, you can play a video, you can do all of those things on Restream, which makes it a bit of a real flexible platform when it comes to content creation. But we've only got a short time here today, and I want to thank Kieran for the opportunity to jump in and talk a little bit about Restream. Hopefully in the not too distant future, I will be delivering a workshop where we're going to be doing much more of a deep dive into some of the other features that Restream has to offer. We're going to be looking at OBS, XSplit Broadcaster, and also the Melon app. So if you're somebody who's interested in live streaming and taking your content marketing and your content production to the next level, please keep an eye out for that workshop coming your way over the next couple of months, all being well. So let's go right ahead and jump into the live studio here on Restream. And my webcam is going to flick on in a moment, and you can see me now on screen. So this is what the live studio looks like here in Restream. Of course, one of the big benefits of Restream is you can broadcast across multiple platforms. That's one of the main reasons why I actually use Restream. So whether you're going to record or pre-record, or whether you're going to go live, let's take a look really quickly at some of the features here in Restream. One of the real cool things that I love about it is you can brand up your production. So branding is really important for brand awareness. You want to get your website address out there. You want to get your social media addresses out there. You want people to know where they can find you in these online spaces. So what I've did with my graphic designer is we have actually branded up the Restream graphics to suit my own brand. So let me go right ahead and turn on one of my backgrounds here, and you can see there is my pretty cool background, my profile down at the bottom. We've got my logo, my website address over at the left hand side, and then of course right along the top we've got the social media icons, and also where you can find me on those social media spaces. Now we can turn that off again and go full screen, and you can see, but we're going to switch that back on for the purpose of this demonstration today. A couple of the other cool things that you can do is if you're broadcasting live, for example, you may want to have a countdown timer to let people know when you're going live, which counts down. And we can switch that on here as well. Now my mic's going to dip out on this one, but you'll get the idea on how this works. So let me go ahead and switch on the countdown timer towards our presentation or indeed our live stream. Let's take a look. So you get the idea on how the countdown timer works, and I mostly use that when I'm broadcasting live. A couple of the other slides that I use, again, which are branded up on Restream, is I like to use my starting soon. I also like to use my stay connected. At the end of my presentation, I will use thanks for watching. And then I will also use, if we're taking a break within our presentation, I'm also going to use my back soon, be right back slide. If we run into any technical difficulties, which sometimes you do, then this slide will pop up as well. So you can see that all of these slides are branded with my brand, which is really important whenever you're doing any presentations or indeed workshops. Now, one of the other things that you can do with Restream as well is you can interview guests, which is really cool. So you can send a link out to a guest, for example, who you want to bring onto your podcast, you want to bring onto your workshop, your training event, your presentation, and it's just a matter of inviting the guest in by using the invite guest option here at the top, and you can invite up to 10 guests into your recording. You can also do that with your offline recording as well as your going live through your social media platform as well. And what happens is if I bring on another guest, I'm just going to change my background slightly to this. Now you can see here that it's set up for 2 guests. I would obviously be on the left-hand side of the screen, and that other guest would be on the right-hand side of the screen. But again, we're just having a quick demonstration here today on how that works. That's how you would split your screen up to bring on other guests. Really quickly, a couple of the other things that you can do while we're here today is down at the bottom, you can bring in your presentations. So you can bring in your PowerPoint presentation here. You can bring in your keynote presentation. If you've got a video that you'd like to play, you can also play that video. If you want to add some background music to your presentation or your workshop, you can also choose that as well. So Restream is pretty flexible in relation to the features that it has for users. Now, one of the great things that I love about Restream is it's simple and easy to use compared to applications like OBS, which is a free open source broadcasting software. The setup and the learning curve on that is pretty steep. I'm not going to lie. XSplit Broadcaster is pretty similar to that. It's more for those of us who maybe want to implement multi-camera functionality. Maybe we want to use some other features that those particular types of applications have to offer. But Restream for me is a good all-round, pretty easy to use, pretty easy to set up, and it's got that ability to record as well as go live to the social media platforms. So that's a quick overview on how Restream works today. Hopefully you found it useful. Once again, do keep an eye out for that workshop that's hopefully going to be coming your way in the not too distant future, where I'm going to be talking in a lot more detail and doing a much more of a deep dive on how Restream works, some of the settings and the features that you need to be aware of again, but also looking at the Melon app, the OBS broadcaster, and indeed XSplit Broadcaster. If you're somebody who wants to take your presentations, your workshops, your training, or indeed your content marketing to the next level, stay tuned for details of that workshop going to be coming your way very soon with SRC Business Support. Of course, don't forget to follow me across any of the social media platforms, and I look forward to connecting with you. And if you do have any questions, please do reach out and get in touch.
Great. So thanks very much. Thanks very much to Wayne there. That was great. Talking about the benefits of Restream. So, you know, I looked at Restream. It's about 40 seconds. The next one is just, it's not even a studio setup. It's really to show, when Wayne was talking about the deck there, you can use Restream for more than one camera. And certainly some of the clients that I'm working with at the moment, and I'm thinking about like Janet Hunt, who's an artist, and we're looking at different cameras. So what you can do is your broadcast, you may want to focus in on something else that you're doing, is particularly if you're, you know, an instructor. So my former colleague Brian and I did a workshop about a year ago about many cams using different cameras. So Sarah, if you play the next one, it's really only 40 seconds and it's just examples, it's a very simple example. Hey everyone, this is me recording using the live stream function, just straight to record. That's it. I'm not sharing the screen at the moment, but what I'm going to quickly demonstrate is if I go to the settings, I'm just going to change and switch camera. So at the moment I'm just on the iMac HD camera, but I'm going to switch now to the Nexico camera, and hello, and I'm over here. So it's just a simple example. I mean, you can use an app called Minicam, but I'm just doing broadcast, getting ready for broadcast, and I'm just using two cameras. I'm now going to switch back to the FaceTime HD camera, and thank you. So there we are, just in Sarah, if you pull up the summary slide. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there when it comes to apps and recording and screen, and what I wanted to do today was to demonstrate how I can use this and how you could use this. You really, when it gets to the likes of Restream, there's a bit more knowledge required. Even Screencast and Camtasia, you follow the tutorials, you can get there. You can jump straight in with Crankbait, Loom and Zappy. So running down them, more or less Loom is free, but you know, if you go to the advanced functions, you'll pay a bit. Zappy, again, more or less it'll be free, very intuitive. Screencastomatic, $48 per annum. More advanced, easy to use, great for demonstrations. Camtasia, a bit more expensive. There's that one-off investment, and then there's around £35 a year maintenance fee. But I found a powerful video creator, excellent resource support as well. Restream, we just heard Wayne talking about, $190 one-off fee. I wasn't able to go and find if there's a maintenance fee with that. But there is a free version, but you can also trial it up with a free version. Canva is free for a lot of stuff, but then if you really want to get into some of the other animations, there's £100 per year for the pro license. Do you know, if you're in marketing, I don't see why you wouldn't be using something like that. And I'm not necessarily an advocate for Canva alone. There's lots of others out there, but we find it to be a very robust marketing platform. So really, I hope that that's been useful in giving you a flavour. If we can continue to help you in any way, please drop us an email and let us know. At this stage, that I'm going to hand over to Sarah. Sarah, thank you, to explain how we can help you further. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, I can't hear you at the moment. Just
sorry. Thank you, Kieran, for the presentation. You covered so much there. I'll definitely have to watch it back again later just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm jumping in quickly to talk about the support that SRC have available for businesses. First up, we have the skills focus. This program provides training for businesses or social enterprises with less than 250 employees. It's funded by the Department of the Economy to 75%. Then we have the Innovators program. This would be the program that Kieran would work mostly on, and it offers businesses 30 to 60 hours of mentoring or upskilling on a one-to-one basis for an innovative product, process or service. This is also funded by the Department of the Economy, but this program is fully funded. Innovation vouchers are next, and they are a great way for businesses to avail of R&D opportunities, although with this program, it's important to realise that there is a VAT element. This is funded by Invest NI, but Enterprise Ireland offer a similar program. Then we have the larger programs. We have Fusion, Co-Innovate, KTP, HLS, These offer businesses the opportunity to get a graduate or a student into the business. So as you can see, we have there's lots of different ways we can help businesses. So get in contact with us. We'll talk through your specific requirements and see what we can do for you. Finally, I'd just like to say that this is the last in our series of winter webinars. So you can find all of our previous ones on our YouTube channel, but we are hoping to run another series in the spring, so keep an eye on our social media channels for these. We're sending out an evaluation this afternoon for this webinar, and we'd be very grateful if you could spare us 5 minutes to complete a short survey. Your feedback on this will help us to plan our next series of webinars, so it's very helpful to us. Kieran, can I pass back to you and we'll take any questions we have?
Yeah, that's brilliant, Sarah. Thanks a million. Carol Ann, if you're able to call the questions out, or Sarah, because I can't see the questions. I don't know, Carol Ann, can you hear me? Can you call the questions out there, Carol Ann?
Yeah, the first one is any apps for casting, recording from mobile, i.e. cast mobile screen onto laptop for recording.
Yeah, I mean, some of those, I'll come back to that person if we get whoever that was. I'll come back to them with some of the lists. But yeah, I mean, you can do with some of the ones, the early ones that I mentioned, you can use them on your mobile as well. Certainly, if your iPhone, the Zappy has an option for definitely for doing that. Crankbait doesn't. Some of the other ones that Wayne was talking about, you have an option to do that, but I'm more than happy to, if we get whoever that question from, if they wouldn't mind putting an email, and we'll come back and we'll give them a full list of what we think might work for them. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'll just put your email onto that for them. And then the next one is Restream available within SRC. I think Wayne touched on that.
Well, we should Restream. What we'll do, whoever that came to that question, more than happy to talk them through that. I've only recently been using it. Wayne's a user of it. It's more entry level live broadcasting at the next level. We don't have a licenses yet, but I have to talk very nicely to Tracy about getting that. But certainly it could be something that we would look at, whoever that person is, and would be more than happy to go on that journey. And personally, myself, I'm on that journey, and wherever that came from. Wayne made reference to OBS, which is an open source, which is free. Certainly have a look at that. I will say that there's a lot more learning with open source, Caroline, with the OBS. Unless you're in doing, media production. Restream would be more for nobody who does not have a media or marketing department. You can still use Restream, but more than happy to, again, send my email out to that individual if we can help in any way. Great.
Yeah, I'll do it. And then there's just one. It just says Camtasia looks a lot like Movi, which is about £60 total cost. You just pay a small fee if you wish to upgrade, so it's maybe just another platform. Okay,
well, MOIV, great, fantastic. I've some awareness of Movi, so I can't put it up. I'll compare one against the other, but this is the thing, you're going to find out what works best for you. I like Camtasia from a desktop perspective, but there's lots of previous webinars that we've done. CapCut, for example, is one that I would have used a lot for video editing on the go. Very, very easy to do it, and there's loads of them out there. But by all means, MOIVI, was that one?
No, it was MOVAVI. There's a link. Someone's provided a link here, so on the Q&A you'll see the link to it. If you just follow it, anyone that's watching this can just follow it and have a wee nosy at it.
Okay.
So movavi.com.
Published. Do you know what? I'm just seeing the questions now. I don't know what was done, and now I can see them. That's super. That's super. Okay. Well, listen. Thank you for all of those questions. Thank you for all the content. It's 10:29. We're 1 minute to go. So Sarah and Carol Ann, thanks for all your help today. And this is the last of our winter webinars. And Wayne, we hope we'll be coming back after Easter, and we could have one or two others. So please get in touch. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.